almost got 400 people in the room, and it's almost 9 o'clock out here on the West Coast. And by the way, family, you guys get my book, Foundational Black American Race Beta, available now on Amazon.com. Let me see who we got. Giovanni. Let's get Giovanni in here. Let's get Giovanni in here. And Giovanni, turn your microphone on.
Yo.
What's up, Giovanni? What's on your mind?
Yo, Tariq. So you're saying you don't have allies, but that's not true.
Okay. What allies do foundational Black Americans have?
So I saw some clips of yours on YouTube basically saying that black people were in Americas before everyone else.
Okay,
So
let's wait. Hold on, Giovanni. Before we go there, I asked you a very specific question, and you just skipped over it and went to a different topic. Now, we'll go to that topic, but I asked you, what allies do foundational Black Americans have?
Latinos.
What have Latinos as a group ever done for foundational Black Americans in the history of the United States?
I'm sorry?
As a group, what has Latinos ever done as a group, and the key word, as a group, what have they ever done for foundational Black Americans to help us as a group?
I mean, I can't state every case by case thing, but
State
um,
one, just one.
I mean,
I'll give you time. Go ahead. You
well, does
muted
it
your.
really matter who helps who?
Yes, it does.
Our
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does, because Black people, foundational Black Americans, we've had the cape on for Latinos for decades. In the 1960s, it was Black people caping for Latinos. It was Dr. King and those people caping for Latinos. In the 70s, it was Jesse Jackson and the Congressional Black Caucus caping for Latinos. In the 80s and 90s, other NAACP groups were caping for Latinos. Right now, 2021, the Congressional Black Caucus, Barack Obama before that was putting together policies and doing things to help Latinos get over here and get economic stability. So Black people have always put the cape on for Latinos. We're the ones running around talking about Black and brown. We open up those HBCUs to Latinos. Those
all right, I have
HBCUs.
another question towards you.
But you're not. But you feel what I'm saying, though, right? So it does matter, because your community has benefited from foundational Black Americans fighting for them. So you
But
do
why do you
acknowledge that.
have so much hostility towards Latinos? I don't
It's a
understand why
question.
do you hate Latinos?
That's a projection. That's you projecting. I'm asking a question.
What do you want me to say?
I don't want you to project. I asked you to say, what did Latinos do for Black people? And you said, well, it don't matter, because you couldn't name anything. But I just showed you all the things that Black people have done for the Latin community. And then you started to project, talking about I'm hostile towards Latinos. But it seems it's the other way around. You seem hostile towards foundational Black Americans. So the question is, why won't you guys help us in any shape, way, form, or fashion?
So
Question,
how
why?
do we become allies? What is your plan?
Okay, do the same that we do for you. Why won't you do the same?
We do. We enter your businesses every day. What are you talking about?
What businesses are you talking about? What are you talking about? What
I'm
businesses are you
sorry?
talking about? No, you what businesses do you enter that Black people have? In fact, most of you boycott Black businesses. You guys don't patronize our businesses. That's not true. What are you now? We patronize yours. It's Black people who go all up in the bodegas, especially on the East Coast, out here. But y'all don't patronize our businesses like that.
Well, maybe black people should become business owners and we could patronize their businesses.
Oh well, why don't Black people become business owners, sir?
You're saying that Latinos don't patronize black businesses, so that means there's not enough black businesses to go to
Okay. So if there's not enough Black businesses, why aren't there Black businesses, sir?
because of the government.
Okay.
And maybe you guys should work harder to become business owners and not ask for handouts.
Handouts. You mean like your family's doing at the border?
I'm not Mexican, sir. I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh, like that's what's the difference?
It's a U.S. colony, so
Then why aren't you staying in Puerto Rico, sir, and making Puerto Rico better? Why is it so crime ridden
what
and
makes you think I don't live
impoverished?
there?
Yeah, you don't, because you do not. You live over here with us. You are not in Puerto
Um,
Rico right now.
but everyone's born a U.S. citizen, so you
But
can't do
you're
nothing
not in
about that.
but you're not in Puerto Rico right now, representing your culture, fixing Puerto Rico. Why is it a slum over there in Puerto Rico? Why are you not over there
See,
fixing it,
this
sir?
is my whole point. You obviously try to talk shit about a whole group,
No,
and
I'm
that
not,
is
sir,
racist. You are
sir,
racist.
sir. Is Puerto Rico popping right now, sir?
Have you heard about Latin rap? Bad
Sir,
Bunny.
is Puerto Rico popping right now? This is not a slander or anything. Is it popping in Puerto Rico?
I think you're showing your true colors.
I'm
You
asking a question. I'm asking you a question, sir. You talk about how black people are asking for handouts. Um, they're asking for a lot of handouts in Puerto Rico, sir, aren't they?
what kind of handouts? Because we don't
To
benefit
get the
nothing from the government. What are you
to
talking
get
about?
something to get the hell out of there. They need a hand to get the hell out of there so they can come over here like you and sit up and eat off foundational black Americans, right?
No, it's called hard work. Everyone becomes successful with hard work.
Well, then how come Puerto Rico ain't popping then if it's such hard work? How come you didn't use that hard work in Puerto Rico, sir?
Sir, have you been to Puerto Rico before?
Dude, I've seen Puerto Rico before. How come you didn't use that hard work in Puerto Rico?
All right, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about why the hell did you flee instead of making Puerto Rico pop off with all that hard work? If you're such hard workers, how come Puerto Rico is a slum?
What makes you think I don't live in Puerto Rico?
Sir, we've went over that. Now you're talking in circles.
Sir, okay, so what my whole point here is that black
Hmm.
people do have allies, and Latinos have always been there with black people.
How?
Last year during the
How?
marches, George Floyd, you saw
Stop.
Latinos.
Stop it. Showing up to a march to piggyback off the energy, that's not showing support for us. That's just glomming off the energy so that you can scam off some support for your group, which is what a lot of these other groups did. They show up with a sign, and then all of a sudden they open up a nonprofit and say, hey, we're in the same boat as these blacks, give us some money. So it's a come up for a lot of these other groups. They're not allies for us. We got to go out here and do all the work, do all the stomping, and then these other groups pop up with signs and nonprofit organizations glamming off all the money. That's not allyship to me.
So you have never seen an instance where Latinos and black people have worked together doing something constructive?
And you haven't, because I asked you to show me an instance where Latinos as a group has helped black people as a group. And sir, you couldn't name it. Why couldn't you name it, sir?
I can name them, but I can't name every instance. What are you
I
talking
asked
about?
you to name one, and all you did was talk in circles. So that means you don't really have any examples, do you, sir?
I do have examples, but you're just gonna try to um. It's because this is what you do, Tariq. Can I just
I'm not
explain
trying to
what you
do it.
do?
I'm letting you talk, sir. I'm not even cutting you off. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not being aggressive or hostile. I'm letting you talk. Can you please show an example of what Latin? I gave a bunch of examples of what black people have done to help Latinos. You can't give one, sir. And doesn't that kind of prove my point?
No,
Okay.
sir, Tariq.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying there's never gonna be an instance where we could work together?
How come you haven't started? Well, sir, your culture has stuff like Medular la Raza. You understand? You well, tell people what that means.
I think that's a Mexican thing, not a Puerto Rican thing.
They
So
say that in Puerto Rico too, sir. They say it in Puerto Rico. Tell people what that means.
it means be a hard worker.
No, it doesn't. Now, don't get into bad faith arguments. You know what that term means. Let people know what that term means. Don't be embarrassed by your culture. Tell them what Metalarasa means.
But Tariq, let me just ask
Don't,
you a
no,
question.
sir. No, no. Don't run away from your culture. Tell people what that means, sir.
It means bring pride and joy to your heritage.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know it doesn't mean that. Now you're
Sir,
getting into bad. So stop, because now you're getting into bad faith arguments. You know that means improve the race in Latino culture. That means improve the race, meaning whiten up, get away from the blackness of the culture. Doesn't it
but
mean that? Don't it mean that?
doesn't your
But
logic
stop it. That's a yes or no. See, we're not going to play this game where y'all do things culturally, and then when you get confronted about your culture, you want to start deflecting, talking about how come we ain't allies. Your culture is anti-black by definition. Your culture talks about metalarasa, meaning we have to improve our race, meaning to breed out the African black gene in our race. That's a part of your.
so you're saying that Latinos are black now? Hello? Tariq. Tariq. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hold on. Okay, I couldn't hear you. Go ahead. What?
So you're saying that our black genes, so now you're saying that we're black.
You classify yourself as white, but in all of Latino culture
We're
started.
Spanish.
You're not Spanish. This is what
We
I'm
are
talking about,
Spanish.
sir. I've been to Spain. I've been to almost every city in Spain. I've talked to the European Spaniards. Guess what? Y'all ain't Spanish, according to them. That's why you don't go to Spain. Y'all come over here with us. Y'all don't rock with Spain at all because Spain don't rock with you. Y'all can't go up in Spain for nothing. Let's stop playing games. And you know that, sir.
Then how come we're not dark skinned? There's a lot of light
Sir,
skinned Latinos, sir.
sir, sir. Almost all of you have a black abuela somewhere in Latin America. Puerto Rico was an African colony. Mexico was an African colony. Cuba was an African colony. Let's stop playing games. And you know that. You know, back in Puerto Rico, you got those black great grandparents. Y'all just got on this white thing a couple of decades ago. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all just got on that white thing a few decades ago. Y'all had people like Schomburg. Y'all had people for a long time in Puerto Rico who was very proud of their blackness and their African heritage. And then they got on that metalala rasa nonsense because y'all wanted to get in good with the white supremacists. That's a part of the culture, sir, and you know that.
Okay, so what are your solutions to our culture?
Everybody hold their own nuts. That's my solution. We do us and everybody do them because
But I thought we
we're
were one and the same.
I'm talking about y'all hold your own nuts. That's my solution. I want
So
found
you're basically
I,
saying
I
fuck
want
you Latinos, is that
no,
what you're saying?
okay, that you're projecting. I want to treat everybody the same way they treat us. That's my solution. We as black folks, let's stop putting the cape on for all of these other groups. We should treat you the exact same way you treat us. Wouldn't that be a great solution?
Well, why do you view the world in a color lens? How come you can't be colorblind?
Sh- shouldn't we treat you the same way you treat us, right? Shouldn't we
We
do that?
treat you with respect.
We treat you the same way. We treat you with respect. We don't have a meta lalasa in black society against you.
How about the Black Panthers?
Telling people to lighten up and whiten up their race by not sleeping with dark skinned black folks or dark skinned Latinos, that ain't respect. Okay? That ain't respect, buddy. Is that respect to you?
It's because you take one case and you turn
One
it into a
case,
big deal.
nothing. Sir, in Puerto Rico, 78% of the people classify themselves as white. And these are people up here with afros and dark skin too.
And we all get along. And we don't see the world
Y'all get
in the
along.
sense,
Do-
yeah,
Why is there so much crime in Puerto Rico? The crime rate and the carjackings and the stabbings and the kidnappings in Puerto Rico are off the chain. What are you talking about? Y'all get along.
it's called a corrupt government. That's what it's called,
Oh,
Tariq.
so the government is making everybody carjack each other.
Yeah, just like in Chicago, right?
I don't live in Chicago. What do I have to do with Chicago?
You saying that Puerto Rico is a crime raving place, and let me ask you about Chicago. What's
I
going on in
don't. What
Chicago?
do I? I don't live in Chicago. I've never lived in Chicago. You lived in Puerto Rico. Your family's from Puerto Rico. I ain't never lived in Chicago. What Chicago got going on ain't got nothing to do with me. But what goes on in
You
Puerto Rico
just
has
said
something
that
to do
Puerto
with you.
Rico is a crime place,
It's
but I'm
yes.
asking you
You
about
you just
Chicago.
sat up here and said everybody gets along over there, and it's crime written over there. How is everybody getting along? And the crime is so bad where people are trying to get the hell out of there. How is that
And
getting along?
crime is so bad in LA right now with these smash and grabs.
Well, those are a lot of your folks doing that,
Sir, no.
sir. Those are a lot of yo folks doing that.
Your
Do you
folks.
feel me? Your people are doing that. Your Latino brethren are doing. They're doing that. A lot of those.
So you're saying that there's no black people involved in those
There's a few.
shenanigans?
There's a few, but there's a lot of your brethren doing that. Even when we had the Rodney King riots going on out here. It was your brethren, sir, out here getting a lot of those couches and furnitures and those TVs. If we want to get real, that was
People
the
could
running
watch the
joke.
videos. They could come up with their own conclusions, but facts are facts, Tariq, and you cannot deny the facts
What's the
and the
fact?
reality of things.
What's the fact in reality?
That people need to stop looking at everything at racism. It's probably hard work and dedication that will get you to the top.
Then how come your culture didn't use that hard work and dedication to fix your culture over there, sir? How come you didn't use that over there?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about your culture in Puerto Rico, sir. Puerto Rico ain't popping. We've gone over this. That's why you're
You
not
never been
there.
here, so how do you know it's
That's
not
that's
popping?
why that's why you're
You
not
never been
there.
here.
Dude, I don't have to go there to see it. I've seen it.
Okay, but that's like me saying, why is
Yeah, I've
Africa
seen
not
it.
popping?
I've
And
I've
you've
seen
never
what
been to Africa, so how is
I,
that? You're just saying that in bad faith.
I'm not saying in bad faith. I don't have anything to do with what's going on in Africa. I'm a foundational Black American, brother.
I know, but you're African.
I'm a
We gotta.
you're listen. You're African in that case. You're just as African as me.
I just said I'm Spanish.
No, you're not. You are just as African as me, dude. Puerto Rico was an African colony, dude. You're just as African as me. You are red bone, my nigga. You light skinned. You ain't Spanish.
I took a DNA test.
What did it say?
What?
What did your DNA test say? You know what it said? It had a picture of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. It had a soul food restaurant because that's where your ass and your lineage goes to. Soul food. You are a light skinned Negro, brother. You are a black person.
Then how come we look nothing alike like black people? It
Yes, you
makes
do.
no sense.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, y'all take them relaxers out your hair. Them hair, y'all get in some water. That hair curls right on up. It gets textured and beautiful, just like our hair.
But why do you care so much about? Why do you care so much what people identify with? Why do you care so much?
I don't give a damn. You the one called my show, brother. I'm talking to foundational Black Americans. You popped up in my room. You understand?
Yeah, because I wanted to give you some knowledge and
Uh,
some facts.
how you gonna give me some knowledge and facts, and you have not even fixed your culture, sir? You had to flee your culture, and you have not even fixed it.
You see, there we go again. Flee. Why
Yeah, flee.
racist?
Well, that's not racist. What's racist about telling the truth, sir? What's racist about that?
Um, a lot.
Well, like how you flee your culture? You flee. We don't flee. Foundational Black Americans. We stay 10 toes down, and we fix what's going on over here, even through adversity. How come you
There's
can't
a
do
lot
the
of
same?
Haitians leaving Haiti.
That has nothing to do with me, sir. I'm a foundational Black American, sir.
But sir, but people around the world don't see it like that, and they see black, black.
Right. And people in Spanish don't see you as one of them. People in Spain, rather, they don't see you as a Spaniard. And you know that. You're not Spanish. They don't look at you as Spanish. They'll tell you. You go over there to Spain, talking about I'm Puerto Rican and I'm one of you. They'll be like, get your ass out of here. They don't look at you as one of them at all. And see, that's the trick that the Spaniards played on people in the Caribbean. We talked about that before. And in my book, I talk about that. How the British and the Spanish, see, the British, they didn't play games with us. When they enslaved us, they were like, hey, you are Negroes. I don't care how light, dark you are. They didn't play no games with us. The Spanish started claiming some of y'all. They would have these kids, they would rape the women over there and lay it with these African sisters and some of the native sisters, and they would have the kids and they would claim the kids. Oh, that's my little Rodrigo. So they would claim you as a family member, but they would still keep you at arm's length. So that caused a lot of confusion in Hispanic culture in the Caribbean. This is why in all of the cultures there, it was the black people doing the uprising. It was the black people doing the liberation there. In Cuba, it was the black Cubans doing the liberating. In Puerto Rico, it was the black Puerto Ricans doing all the fighting. In Mexico, Gaspa Yenger, all the black people down there doing most of the fighting, because the black people were never confused because they weren't a part of that whole buffer thing. They let some of y'all be buffers, and that causes a lot of confusion. And then y'all try to get around foundational black Americans with your confusion and with a lot of the self-hate, because a lot of you know you got a black abuela, your black granddad, you know your black African ancestry, and a lot of you guys are envious and angry at us because of that, because we're the only thing, our genes, that black gene is stopping you guys from claiming full white, and y'all got a lot of animosity towards a lot of black folks. Now, does that sound kind of right?
That sounds kind of harsh, and like I said before, I don't
What
think
was
that you
incorrect?
look.
What was incorrect about what I just said, sir?
I feel like you look at the world in which people have to be a certain color for you to like them, and that's not okay.
And you're in a culture that has a term called metalalasa, talking about improve the race
But
by
that's all you could
whitening
come
up.
up with. That's all you could come up with.
That's enough. And even in your culture, the dark skinned Latinos, y'all discriminate against them over there. You treat them
We
horribly.
treat them like kings and queens here,
You treat them horribly. You treat them like filth. Stop lying, sir. Y'all
like
treat
in
the
what
dark skin,
instance?
you treat the dark skinned Latinos like filth over there in Puerto Rico and other parts of Latin America. Y'all crap on those dark skinned Latinos. Y'all are very racist towards them over there. And then y'all bring that same racism over here.
But Tariq, show me facts. You're just saying things, but you're not showing me the facts. Where are the facts, Tariq?
So are you trying to say that I'm not telling the truth here?
You're not
I've had
telling the truth.
Latino
You're
I've
not
had
telling the
Latino.
truth.
Okay, that's now you're trying to use I'm white and I say so, but the problem is you're not white enough to do that. You can't
What
use
I'm
I'm
trying
white
to
and I
say
say
is
so.
that Cuba has a black president. Belize, they have a black country, and everyone treats them with respect. What are you talking about? Have you heard about Belize? Everyone's black in Belize.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
So if you're saying that we treat black people like garbage, wouldn't you think that all the other countries would invade Belize and kill everyone?
What? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? How you would invade Belize? What are you talking about?
You're saying that light skinned Latinos treat black Latinos like shit?
Yeah, yeah,
That's not true, sir.
that is true. A lot
Show
of the
me.
black, a, a lot of the dark Latinos are marginalized and pushed in more impoverished areas in Puerto Rico, in Cuba. That's why in Cuba, the white ones or the light ones are the ones who get to immigrate over because they get the more resources. They get more resources. In Mexico, you have black Mexicans down there who are discriminated against all through those areas. I've been all over South America and Central America. I've been over in Colombia. They got the black people living on the whole other side of the damn country. In Costa Rica, they got the black folks living on a whole different side of the country, and the lighter ones are in the central and the western parts. I've seen this stuff, sir. I've been all over the world. I've seen this with my own eyes. I've been down to Brazil. The lighter Brazilians are living high off the hog, and the dark skinned Brazilians are up there in the hills in the favelas. So this is all over Latin America. This is not me making up, and everybody who's been down there, they can see this. So you trying to deny this, that's just a bad faith argument, sir. And you don't want to be a person who engages in bad faith arguments, do you?
But how am I engaging in bad faith arguments? You just
By
said
saying
Brazil.
that, but by saying that black skin or dark skinned Latinos are not treated harshly by your culture. That's so disingenuous to say. And you know that.
How is that disingenuous?
Okay, so now what you're trying to do is play like the suspected white supremacists by playing naive. You know what your culture does. You know what they do to dark skinned black people. There's a reason why they
But there's
have.
a small minority of people
No,
that
it's
do
not
that,
a.
and we
No, it's
call it out.
not. No,
We
it's
call it
not.
out.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. So you don't call it out. By having terms like Medola la Raza, you don't call it out. You embrace it.
So you think all Latinos are racist towards black people?
I didn't say that because I don't know all Latinos, sir. I don't know all of you. I don't know
But how,
all of you.
but how come you view everyone as a type of color? You can't view them as a human being?
But that's you projecting. That's you projecting, sir. You are projecting your bias towards black people, aren't you?
So we're not gonna get into like any like good faith like discussion.
No, you haven't engaged in good faith discussions because you sat up here talking about how black people who are foundational black Americans just need to work hard. And you come from a country that's run down with poverty and crime. And that's not me saying this. This is them saying this. This is why they have to leave.
No
Doesn't that
one's
seem?
leaving Puerto Rico. No one's
Yes, they
leaving.
are. They're not. Then why are so many Puerto Ricans in New York?
I don't know. They probably want to live in New York.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. All right. Okay.